All right, welcome back, fellow escapees. Welcome back to my channel where I help burnt out corporate employees ditch their boring 9 to 5 and create a life of financial freedom. So with a lot of layoffs going on, we have Dell, which is laying off about 25,000 people. Dell employs over 100,000 people, so that's about 25% of their workforce. We have Google, we have Walmart. Starbucks just announced that they were laying off over 1,000 workers, closing up to 400 stores. So in today's video, let's wait for that police car or ambulance to go by. Okay, so in today's video, I want to discuss where you can find out if your company is about to do layoffs. And the reason why you need this information is because a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all in the community and on Reddit forums and things like that, they're just becoming, what am I trying to say? Like they're becoming blindsided in a sense about losing their job, basically. So in today's video, I want to talk about where you can go to find out especially if you're a large company, a publicly traded company, they have places you can go to find out if your company's about to do a layoff. And I think you should know this information or be constantly checking on it because of the amount of people right now who are facing layoffs and who have been laid off. It's just really hitting them by surprise. And when you wake up to get ready for work and you have, some people are getting emails on their phone not to show up for that day. Some people are walking into the office and being turned around that morning or at the end of their shift, and they're not expecting this. So they're thinking, I got to pay a mortgage or rent. I got children in daycare or children expenses with my children. I'm going through some people have health issues and they need $100 to $500 a month medications, and they need their health insurance. And so they're waking up finding out they're being literally cut off either that day or within the next week or so. They're going to be losing their jobs, and people are just tired of this. They're tired of the lack of empathy, the lack of warnings that these companies are giving them. They're not giving them any 2-week notice or things like that. Like the company wants you to give them a 2-week to 30-day notice, but they're not doing that for the employees. They're basically it's like they don't have any care or concern about what you have going on in your life and your family. So I think with this generation, we're starting to realize that the companies do not care anything about us, our families, or anything like that. One nurse reported that he bought a new car when he was getting plenty of overtime for this last year or so. Bought a new car. His boss found out he bought a new car, saw him show up when he parked in the employee parking lot. And he said within a week, his boss kind of gave him this look like, oh, you got a new car kind of look or whatever. And then he noticed within a week or two, his hours were cut in half. Instead of going in 5 days a week, he was going in 2 days a week. He said, when in the heck, I don't want to say bad curse words, but when in the hell, basically, has a nurse not been able to work full-time if they're a full-time nurse? Why are you cutting my hours down to 2 days, or my shifts to 2 days a week? And I'm normally here 5 days a week plus my overtime, so sometimes 6 days a week, or working, instead of working an 8-hour, he's doing 12-hour shifts 5-6 days a week. So he knew that was an attack on him, and maybe a little, his boss kind of getting back at him and a little jealousy there or whatever. But this is what people are experiencing because they're at the mercy of these companies. A lot of people are at the mercy of these companies. So I want you to go to a site called Warn, W-A-R-N, Tracker. And I want you to go there to look up and see if your company is planning to do any layoffs. Companies normally notify the public or the media that they're going to do layoffs 60 days before they're planning to do the layoffs. They normally put it on these websites. There's another one called trueup.io, and Crunchbase is another one you can use. LinkedIn news is another way people are finding out that their companies are about to start doing some layoffs. Bloomberg is the fastest news outlet if you're in the financial sector, Wall Street, anything related to like the money sector, crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. They're the number one leader in being able to get inside information on when these companies are about to start doing some layoffs. The Wall Street Journal is really good if the company is thinking about restructuring, or if you want to see a lot of interviews on CEOs that are going to talk about the health of the company and the direction the company's trying to go. Well, the Wall Street Journal is the best place to get that information. CNBC is one of my favorites. They also report a lot of tech news, financial news, business news. That's another one of my favorites. So you can also go there. Business Insider. So the great thing about Business Insider is they have been very good at getting internal information that's not available to the public, and a lot of people leak information to them about companies and what's going on. So Business Insider is like another top news outlet or platform that you should be signing up for and getting alerts for what is going on with companies. There's another one called Blind, B-L-I-N-D. Blind, just B-L-I-N-D. So what was great about Blind is a lot of employees are able to go on there anonymously and share what they're going through at these companies. So that's going to help you guys a lot. You guys really need to know what's going on in the workplace of these companies before you're going to leave another job, or look for, or if you're already at some of these companies, you already know what's going on. The thing I was hearing was some people who were laid off, what was happening was they were finding jobs, or they decided to leave one job for a better opportunity at another company, and then within a few months to a year they were laid off at that company. So before you make a move, if you're not already laid off, make sure you're checking out these type of forms, because the last thing you want to do, and the HR managers sometimes really don't know. I know a lot of people are like, well, why would the HR manager hire me just to fire me within a month or two, or 6 months or a year? Sometimes they don't know because it's coming from the top level, and sometimes the CEOs and the executives, though, they may not have told them in that quarter. They may say, oh yeah, we're thriving, we're doing good. A lot of companies lie, we're thriving, we're doing good. And then by the next quarter or two, then they're like, oh, you know what, we realized, our budget, or we didn't make the numbers we thought we were gonna make last quarter or 2 or 3. So in this quarter, we're just gonna mass lay off this amount of people. So make sure you're going on these forums so you can know what is going on. Reddit is always great. Reddit has always been great for, sometimes there's spammers on there, people not sharing, accurate information. You gotta take it with a grain of salt and make sure you have the discernment of if you're getting the right information from Reddit, because Reddit allows anyone to post on there, and there's no credibility. Sometimes there's nothing to say that person knows what they're talking about, because a lot of times they can make up user avatars and names and post anonymously. So just be careful a little bit with Reddit. Sometimes people are just being sarcastic, they're trolling. So I'll be a little bit careful with that one. But I do seem to find some really great information on that. But what I want to also share with you guys is the layoffs are here. They're coming in droves, like I've said in several times, and I'm trying to get it out to this community and make this channel, because I don't think people, when they're not affected at that moment, then they're like, oh, I'm okay, that's just happening over there, it's not gonna affect me, kind of like even the immigration thing going on right now. Like, people are like, oh, I have my permanent residency card, or I have a green card, that's not gonna affect me, I don't have to worry about that. That's those people. Everybody's like, that's those people, oh, I can't become homeless. That's those people. Or I'll find a job fast. And then they find themselves, 6 months to 3 years without a job. Because everybody keeps thinking it's those people. Like it can never happen to me. And I'm here to tell you, unless you own a company, have relatives that manage or run the company, you are at risk. Anyone who doesn't own their own company is at risk. So what you're gonna wanna do is, even if you have a job, you need to live your life like that job is about to go away 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, or AI is gonna be here in 5 years to take it from you. You cannot keep living your life like you're gonna retire at any company for just because you wanna work there, or just because you have a good work ethic or a good resume. Like you have to really understand that AI is here and outsourcing is here. It's been here, but it's just growing. And there's people willing to do your job for less money. And a lot of Americans have found themselves in a situation where they thought their jobs were secure. And then when they were laid off from their job, they said, well, it doesn't matter. I got this resume and I have this degree. I'm going to get a job any minute now. So I'm okay. I don't worry about it. But once you hit over 50, a lot of people over 50 are realizing they can't get back into the workforce. So if you're over 50, I actually think it's 45, but I'm just rounding it up to 50. You may not be able to get back into the workforce ever again. And that's why I made those videos on the homelessness growing. Because you have to stop thinking because you want a job or you're willing to work until you're 70 or 80, someone's going to employ you until you're 70 or 80. That's not how we're in a new world, guys. This is a new world order. We're in a new world. That is not how this new world's going to work. That's not how this new economy is going to work. Even if you can find work, they're suppressing the wages, meaning they're keeping them at a certain level, or they're reducing it because they have, someone else to work that job. There is a guy I ran into. There's a few stories like this, but just one. Hold on, this wind is just blowing this all over the place. Where a guy, he went to a job interview and the job was advertising, let's say the job was advertising $80,000 a year, I think it was. And then he was like, okay, I'll take, when he finished interviewing, he felt like he was gonna get hired and it got to the point where they wanted to know his salary requirements. He was like, okay, I'm like 75, 80, around that, or 70, 80, And they were like, oh, we were looking for someone to do it for, I think it was 55 or 60. So they advertised one wage and then tried to get him to go even lower than what they advertised. So then he didn't get the job, he didn't get the call back, but then he saw it posted again for the lower wage. So some of these companies will play games with you. They'll put you through 3 to 5 interviews and not hire you. So like I said, it's just been a hot mess job market. If you're going to be a part of this community, if you're joining the escaping movement, if you're fed up with what's going on with these jobs and how these companies are treating people and yourself, like I said, my advice to you is start living now like the job may go away. I pray it doesn't. I pray you get to keep it as long as you're willing to work for it. But just start cutting expenses down, saving your money, investing, because investing is the only way your money keeps up with inflation. Putting it in a bank and just letting it sit there is not going to do the trick. You have to keep the money moving. You have to keep it growing. And so I just wanted to make this video so you guys will be aware of what's going on. Y'all know how to find out when companies are doing their layoffs. You start preparing yourself for these layoffs. And by God, I pray that you are not amongst these people that are losing 9 million people losing their homes and their apartments because they're falling behind on their mortgages and rent. I pray that you are not amongst those people. You're not amongst the homeless, the new homelessness we have adding to the population every single month. We're getting new cases and updates on people becoming homeless because they can't find work anymore. So let's pray that you don't become amongst those people. But you gotta prepare your life. Like, if the jobs were to go away, AI is already here. If the jobs were to go away, what do I do? Do I start a business and bring some type of service or product into the market? Do I, cut back on these expenses? Do I need to learn how to invest more, save more, whatever it is? What do you need to do? Okay? So if you want to join the escaping movement, just like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. You're going to know when I post more videos on what's going on with finances in the job market and the economy. And then it's a free webinar below. You can always contact me if you need a consultation on how to plan your corporate escape. So just start becoming proactive. Start doing something towards this goal. Don't just sit back and think that it won't happen to you when we had almost 20 million people laid off during the pandemic. Now, those people some of them did go back into the workforce, but a lot of people did not go back into the workforce. They couldn't find jobs. Or if they found jobs, they found like a little side hustle to do just to keep the lights on and food on the table, but not enough to actually live beyond that. So I don't want that happening to my followers. I don't want that happening to people in my community. I want y'all to be ready for this new world order, this new economy we're in. So I think that sums up this video. I gave you guys the information that you need. Like I said, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you can get notifications on when I'm dropping the new content. And then join the escaping movement. Comment below if you have any questions or resources for people in our community. Just drop comments below. If you know of any other websites that people can use to be notified if a company is going to do layoffs, drop that below. So just engage with us, and I'm going to share that information and try to help as many people as I can. And I answer as many comments as I can. It's not somebody else answering the comments. I answer them. Always be respectful in the comment section. Everybody has their own views and opinions on what's going on right now. Everybody's trying to just do their best to take care of themselves and their family and the people that they love in their community. So always be respectful when you're dropping comments in the comment section, and help others. If the comments are negative, I just delete them, and we don't even get into debates or discussion with negative trollers or commenters. We just keep moving forward because that's what we're gonna have to do anyway. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.